Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Sanity Modelling. Yes, you may have noticed the name change. The intention all along was for it to be Sanity Modelling, not Insanity Modelling. The title sequence is supposed to suggest insanity, as in we're all a little bit troubled. But we can get through that with making some sanity through modelling. So I hope it's not too confusing. I realised my mistake once I've uploaded it, and to be honest, I never thought I'd get this far, so all well and good. So how are you today? I hope you're all in a good place. I hope you've maybe shared how you're feeling today with somebody, because that's always a great way to start the day. Where am I? In terms of models, well, I've made some progress since last time. I've completed both sets of tracks, which are fantastic in my opinion. One of the best sets of tracks I've ever built. You know, makes it easier because they're so big. Makes me wonder, do I need to go into 1/16th scale modelling? No, too expensive. Anyway, we've got 12 sets of wheels, which had 26 parts in each one, which was, you know, took some time, but do you know what? Good value for money in my opinion. Took me a bit longer. So these, once this is all sprayed, these are going to be sprayed separately, painted separately, and then these fit in underneath in these runners. So I don't always build kits in this manner. Sometimes I'll build them up, spray them all, paint them all whilst on the kit. But in this case, I think there's so much there, I think it's better off doing it this way. So they won't be fitted till the end. But as you can see, this has built up into a huge great lump. Compare this with, this is an M109 Paladin, and if you look at the two of them, it's, you know, it's a big old lump of metal. And I could imagine with the version 2 kit with the armament on it, must be incredible, but we'll save that for another day. Anyway, so I got to this stage. This is slightly unusual. Normally, a kit would build up with the sides of the tank itself, and then any skirts covering the wheels would be separate. So I had to build it like this. I had to start building this up, leave the wheels out. But it's good. I mean, it makes for a very solid construction. Very pleased with that. I've had to do a little bit of the dreaded, I say dreaded, some of you may love it, photo etch. This again is great because the photo etch is underneath this top plate. So actually, if it's a little bit untidy, it doesn't really matter. You know, it's a detail. It's a beautiful detail when you look at the all those grills. But yeah, I found that very easy to fit. So that's a great bonus for that. In terms of photo etch, because I know people often ask the question, what do you use for photo etch? So I started off using super glue, standard super glue. I then bought a couple of different ones, the low viscosity ones, the high viscosity ones. And to be honest, I didn't really find a great deal of difference in them. The low viscosity ones I think are maybe good for certain circumstances, but way too runny for anything like this. I then went on to trying this Ammo Ultra Glue, which is like a very sticky PVA, quite easy to use, but like PVA, it takes a while to dry. So if you've got something that you want to hold in position, that's just no good unless you can clamp it, tape it or something. That just doesn't work. So I then, like I said, super glue. This is cheap, you know, I don't know, get 2 or 3 of these for £1. These are great. Chances are you're not going to get through it before it dries up in the end, but so what, for that price, it doesn't matter. And then I tried this black slow dry super glue. Night Shift, thank you. I think before I even finished watching the episode that had this glue in it, I'd already ordered some. This combined with a little bit of super glue activator, which is available through Ammo. it's all sorts of places. That is actually from a EvoStick mitre glue set, which is basically super glue with an activator and a spray can. But all the gas had come from the spray can, so I decanted it into there. So wipe a little bit on top, sets that glue off straight away. And that is another essential item I found, is debonder. Great for cleaning up, great for just getting off those bits and pieces that maybe stick in the wrong places. Yeah, great stuff. Again, Night Shift, thank you. So yeah, I've got those bits done, So today, now we've talked a little bit about modelling, is the episode's the Carpet Monster. So the Carpet Monster, for those of you who don't know, a lot of modelers refer to the carpet as being a monster, because when they snip off those tiny little parts, they go flying through the air and disappear, and the Carpet Monster eats them, never to be seen again. So that is an analogy, I think, for a lot of mental health problems, because modelers are blaming the carpet for losing something. Did the carpet do anything? No. The carpet's an inanimate object. Is it a monster? No, it's a carpet. So it's probably down to how we dealt with the situation in the first place that caused us to want to refer to it as a monster. So, practical terms first. There's a sprue of bits, that's from an old kit. Let's have a look and see if we, so this isn't a small part, but see this little hook shaped piece, which is, I'm not sure what this is off, to be honest, but so I want to cut that one off. Now, if I get my snips, take that off, it could fly through the air and end up in the Carpet Monster. Or get a little bit of masking tape and I make a lovely little sandwich over the top of it, like so. Okay, stick it down, chop it off, job's a good one. And there you are. So your part is now safely removed from the sprue. And if you want, leave it attached to your masking tape. With small parts, that's a godsend, because you can open up the masking tape, and if you've got a row of bolt heads or anything like that, handles, you can then just take them off the masking tape as you need them. I don't know where I picked that up from. I've been doing it for years, and it's a great system. So that, I think, is a good way of kind of illustrating that if we've got a problem, there are solutions to that problem. And sometimes blaming something else, the Carpet Monster, isn't helpful, because instead of changing the way we do it, changing the way we look at it may be a better solution. And maybe talking to somebody about it and asking them and getting their advice, letting them explain to you how they do it, might actually be a better way of moving forward. So that sounds very simple, I know. But if we go back to the Carpet Monster, what would be the solution? The carpet's eating the parts from my model kit. So put down laminate flooring. If you've got laminate flooring, it's a lot easier to find the parts. Sounds like a huge step just to stop losing little parts. Yes, it is, but sometimes a huge step is what's needed. Maybe the area that you work in could just be covered in laminate flooring. So that's scaling it down. Or you could be looking at just taking things a little bit slower, a little bit simpler, and taking somebody's advice about how to do something differently in order to succeed. So I hope that's given you something to think about. I look forward to speaking to you again. I am planning something a little bit different. It may be the next episode. I have to see. But in the meantime, please look after yourselves. Talk to somebody if you need to. Talk to somebody if you don't need to. Just tell them how you're feeling and ask them how they're doing. Honestly, sometimes it's the best medicine. So until next time, thank you for joining me.